I'm going to show a little clip here of Voruna, and then once I've done in this mission, I'm going to go to the simulacrum and show what's going on in this build here, why we're using what we're using, and to really break it down why it's so good. Now, I don't profess to be somebody that's very well versed in Voruna. I took it a level cap yesterday, and I had a very, very easy time. It was deathless. And I've not had very much experience playing Voruna. I've been toying around with her for the last 2 days, and that's not me saying I'm great at this game. That's me showing how great she is. I think most people that have dabbled in Cascade will take her a level cap with ease. Because if I can do it with very little practice as her, I'm sure you can do it too, because she's just so good at her job. What's her job? Going invisible, doing status effects on enemies, attacking them with heavy attacks or light attacks, whatever you really want. And that status effect should spread to everybody and kill them. And we've got the Medjay Predicite here, courtesy from my friend Julio telling me that this works better and nukes better. Or you could use anabolic pollination on the Pharaoh Predicite. That'll give you a 300% toxin in your weapon. So we'll go into the ins and outs and the cool different things with the weapons in a minute. But I'll just run around this mission a little bit, showing the sort of status effect damage and it's spreading everywhere, and how she tends to survive easily. Now watch this. Under pressure of making this video, I'll probably die and look like an idiot, but trust me, she survives very easily. So you want to be jumping invisible with your 1 and swinging on enemies, and jumping back into invisible, pressing your 2 to put status effects on enemies, again going back invisible, putting your 2 on enemies. Now at the beginning of the mission you're going to trigger your 3, and that's going to make basically equilibrium orbs drop constantly. We've got Nourish in our 4, so we're going to just upkeep that as well. Look, as I jump on these enemies, you're going to see all that status effects put on them. Then I'm just going to swing around, go back invisible, swing, and status effects will go on everybody. As you can see, crazy nuking it everywhere. Now, when we see a red target, if we can kill them, that's going to put the status effects through the roof again. It's going to make them really crazy. So we've also got our, here we go, here's the red guy, see him here? And look at that. And that's just going to scale and go crazy all across the map and kill everything. Now we're not using influence here, what we're using is afflictions and the hates. Heavy attack projectile can knock enemies down. Now we could do heavies as well. Our heavy attacks will be insane. See if we can get one off. I actually don't have galvanized reflex on, but I should probably have it on. So as we can see, we go invisible, we jump on enemies, put heaps of status effects in them, and we attack them. Now we'll upkeep our Nourish. Our 3 will be up indefinitely as long as we keep killing. I want to stay invisible as much as we can. So I'm just going to skip this because I was in here testing originally. But what I'm going to do is pause this and show the abilities. So to simplify it, use this. You go invisible. While you're invisible, you can read that there. As you attack coming out of it, you'll get all that bonuses, the stats chance, critical chance, guaranteed slash effect, and critical damage. You're going to jump on enemies here and you can put 5 random stats effects in them, all at 10 stacks. You can jump on them multiple times and until you've got basically every stats effect in them, and then hit them, and it's going to be crazy, do a crazy nuke, crazy for condition overload. Here, this is going to be basically dropping constant health and energy orbs. You're going to extend its duration every kill. Here, Nourish, free viral, spreading everywhere, you know the score. So basically our bread and butter is we're going to jump in, activate this, upkeep this every time it goes off by casting it again. But the bread and butter is going invisible, jumping on enemies with this, and then heavy attack and light attack, and then going back invisible again. And shield gating to keep us alive. So we're invisible. Put status effects in this guy. See how many status effects we're putting him? So much that he died. And now there's going to be Contagious Bond and the Mecha set on our companion, which is just going to make these status effects go even more ham. You know, they're just going to go crazy as they jump around spreading them and everything. Look at that. See? And that's the bread and butter of this build. This is what makes it so fun and unique. Look at that. And where we can kind of chain constant iframes, and also when we jump and then we get iframes. And look at that. Crazy nuking. Absolutely crazy. You can use influence if you want. You can use the spinner X, get that toxic to go nuts and nuke everybody. But it's just absolutely brutal. You could probably not use the mecha set and use a companion like the Diddiga if you wanted. So he's going to put status effects on everybody and you're going to have, oh, I've run out of energy. Now this could be an issue. You're running out of energy because you've been spamming too much and not killing. Yep, that's going to be an issue like I did there. But that tends to never really happen. That was just a bit of bad luck there. Get our nourish back up. And look at all that status effects. It's definitely some of the craziest nuking I've seen. And it's just constant purple numbers all over the screen. And when an Acolyte spawns in, if you do this to a group of enemies, you don't even need to hit the Acolyte because he's going to die just standing next to all these crazy status effects. So as you can see, we go invisible, we jump on an enemy, we're going to light attack them or heavy attack them. I'm actually tending to light attack more because we're knocking down enemies with projectiles from the light attack, which is proccing afflictions, and our status effects are just getting spread like nuts. You could do this with influence if you wanted, but it would be radiation electric going everywhere. And I think afflictions is actually working better from the little bit of testing I've done. Now, another weapon that I absolutely love on this is the dual visas. You want to watch out for them guys. Got all our abilities active again. Now here comes an Acolyte, let's see how we do against him. Unless it's violence, shouldn't have an issue. A lot of status effects on enemies. The Acolyte will subside some enemies, and we'll get the status effects to kill them. There we go, he should die from that status effect damage. Yep, and he did. So you almost feel like Ash in a way, like a more melee focused Ash, like an assassin jumping in and out of visibility and just nuking the whole rooms. If Ash's Blade Storm could kill this quick and this good, I'd probably use it. You see that affliction proc there, the white numbers, along with the purple numbers, that meant afflictions proc on an enemy. Now, I think I will use the light attack more because the heavy attack, it may force slash. That's great, but as we come out of this, we're forcing slash anyway. And we're spreading heat. And we're sending projectiles that are doing afflictions. So this feels perfect. And you can do the harmony as well, but I do think this feels better. We'll run out of energy again. You could probably drop Blind Rage, which I've got in the build. And maybe you could implement melee afflictions. Equilibrium, what I'm talking about. And that would help our energy a bit more. I went straight to purple Tau shards. But typically, I don't have much energy. Famous last words though, We'll keep our abilities up, and hopefully we won't run out of energy as quick again. If so, I might drop Blind Rage, because even at 40% strength, this nukes, because it's not the strength we're really caring about, it's the status effects, the amount of status effects going on enemies, and us killing them in conjunction with the mecha set Page's Bond. That's really doing the heavy lifting here, not as much strength. I just kind of dropped efficiency, so I could get some more shield gain. But we might drop that, we might be alright. Visible, fast effects. And again, we're completely fine. If we see that glowing red guy, Andy gets the mecha set logo above his head, that weird little red triangle. See it above his head there? The white triangle, sorry. You really get crazy stats effect damage then. But for the chance of the chosen enemy flashing red and having the mecha set above his head, it's quite slim. But you know, look at that. Look at the sort of damage we're doing. The amount of stats effect spreading we're doing. Now, 16 would be another person to do this with. It'd be quite cool. You know, you could run the hate with this sort of setup, and this Mat Companion would work nice. I think Voruna is the king of room-wide nuking. Stats effects probably. Nope. Oh, volley maybe? Yeah, they're away. Look at that. Beautiful. So I think I've showed everything I need to show in here. Let's go into a simulacrum and showcase some other weapons. We've seen the potential we'll have here. Now this is a pure melee focused build. It's not going to be using our 4. I've replaced their 4 with Nourish, as you can see. But with their 4, the setup's basically the same. Just your 4 becomes your way to kill. You know, you go on all 4s, you jump on people and bite them. It forces slash them, sure, and it kills them. And it's a much more fun and interesting way to play her. So like I've said, your bread and butter is you go invisible, you use 2 to push stats effects on enemies. You like to attack them with a hate. Oh, excuse me. Or whatever weapon of your choice you have. Now let's go over to Sim and we'll showcase this to make it a bit easier to understand and see. We'll show the mods and stuff. And then we can play around with some other weapons. And you know, the outcome is going to be the same as what you've seen in that mission there. Room-wide nuking, everything dying. Relatively easy survivability as long as we are constantly chaining the 2 and the 1 back to back. Attacking, jumping in and out. And you know, we're good.
I can help you. Help the sanctuary. What offerings will this
Right, let's
item
go over
help you
here.
bring to the sanctuary?
Now, sometimes they just die. Oh, another thing. So, weapon-wise, we have the Paris Incarnate here. You don't need this, but it is going to help a lot because you'll look at this status chance here. Our companion is going to inherit the status chance. This 343% status chance can be transferred over here. This is what I've got in here. I'm going to go for Eximus, nuke them, and in turn, nuke everything else. Over here, courtesy of Julio, props to you. This is going to be helping nuke like crazy with the mecha set. It's going to go into the billions. We're going to, you know, all these mods here are the ones you're going to want to have on here. Oh, I need to take that off. I'm an idiot. Shouldn't have had that on in the first place. We're going to see better results now. If we put this in here, and we put Synth Deconstructing, it's going to help with doing that good bit. We're going to heal our companion. He's going to be uptime constantly. More companions going around attacking. Tenacious Bond. Companion's critical chance. What's his critical chance? Oh, it's not up over it. So, you know, we could drop Tenacious Bond. It's pretty much pointless. We don't need that on right now. So, Tandem Bond, that could work well. But, you know, we're not going to be able to fit that in. We could put in Loyal Companion. We could put in Calculated Redirection because we could get a big enough shield. But we're not using Reinforced Bond. So I think what we're going to have to do is right now, we could drop duplex bond right now, put tandem bond in, down. When it comes to it, we'll put that back in once we reform this slot. So this is what's going to be doing a lot of the heavy lifting. Like I said, the nuking here from the mecha set in conjunction with the Paris Prime status chance. You know, our where is it? Where is the mod? Am I going off my head? Or am I talking rubbish? You know, look at this. The status chance 238. That's from what mod is it that does that? I'm going off my head. So if we change this weapon, I'm going senile now. Yeah, he loses his status chance. So what mod is it that's giving us the status chance? There we go, Mech Overdrive. That's the mod. I knew I was going crazy there. So it's the Mech Overdrive that's going to be giving us the status chance. So, you know, another one we could use is this. See, he's going to have 132 status chance with Mech Overdrive, and he's going to be using Anabolic Pollination, which gives us a 300% toxin every now and then. But I do think from the testing I've done, the Med is the better one to be using. Where is he? He is down here. Marked up to favourite because he's so good now. But you know, you could use any of these. You could use Diddiga, you could use the Hound. We can take that out in a minute and showcase it. So, for Paris Prime, it's going to be the thing doing the heavy lifting with the mecha set. And you know, here's the Voruna mods. Take a minute to screenshot this, do whatever you want to do, copy it. I could drop Blind Rage because the strength isn't that important. I'm trying to think of what I could put in instead, which might be better. You know, we could put Precision Intensify, we could just put Intensify if we wanted. Because everything else we've got in here is set up pretty well. Probably we'd just be Intensify if we're going to go anyway, because we want to be able to shield gate. We've got some efficiency here. We could drop Molt Augmented, we could maybe put in you know, Arcane Hotshot, give us more crit chance. We could put in Arcane Ice Storm. But you know, if you're worth to change anything, it would probably be best to put in maybe Avenger, give us more crit chance. We don't really need it though. We could put in some melee attack speed. That could be nice. So I'm going to drop that, but the way I had it set up originally, if you want to copy it, Molt Augmented and Blind Rage. I'm going to now be trying it out with Intensify and Strike. Because you've seen the effects we had there. The only thing that drawed us back a little bit was our running out of energy. We'll probably do better now. It's our gating. What we want to do is keep up the gating. You know, we could drop this and put in Brief Respite to ensure we definitely get a full shield kit. We'll look at our energy now. Yep, we're going to get a full shield kit. So we'll do that and we'll see by losing one mecha mod if it really matters that much. So you're going to jump it in the mission, you're going to get a tiny bit of charging your Paris. That's going to give the companion the stats effect. Yeah, trigger by holding in our second ability to get status effect immunity. And we go invisible, and look, he's nuked everything already. More status effects on enemies. Often that can kill them just by doing that. You know, but we've also got our melee weapon. We're going to keep power 3 active by constantly getting kills. Now, when we go invisible, we jump on an enemy, got a melee weapon, and everything is dead. And we're at 11x. So again, the combination of this is going to be jump around, invisible, status effects on enemies, hit them once, and everybody should just absolutely die. Now, we can try and influence setup in a minute, but we'll just do this again. Now, we have got anabolic pollination active. We've got 3 toxin damage. So now we're doing toxic with heat, and it just kills everybody. But let's go back to the Medjay. Where is he? Here he goes. Now he seems to be better for nuking. Not that there was anything wrong with Pharaoh Bradisite. He nukes just fine. In my opinion, I do think this one works a bit better. Pretty insane. They didn't even activate the Paris there. We're going to be invisible. That's activated. Now we've got a lot of attack speed now because we've got Arcane Strike on. And everything explodes effortlessly. So we could if we wanted to. Where is it? I don't know if this would work because we would be breaking our invisibility. So let's see. That's our crepuscular active, is it? Yeah, we'd break straight away the minute we swing. So we could go on hotshot and we'll see how easily we can stack this. I don't know how well this will work, so we'll give it a little test here. Not that we really need the crit chance, but this is just some options really. Everything's dead. We got 1 hotshot stack, so that was pretty much pointless. So our best in slot's probably going to be augmented or strike. Or Fury. Fury could work. We've got condition overload. This would be multiplicative with condition overload. No, it wouldn't, sorry. This would help scale our influence attacks if we were to be using influence. So I do think our best one would be multi-augmented. Let's just keep that in there. You can use Arcane Aegis, but I don't think you're really going to have a need for it. So let's go try an influence sort of weapon. So, for example, let's take the Kestrel. Now, we're not going to be heavy attacking with this. We're just going to be going invisible. Let's get over it. Companion setup. That's some setup for his maximum status chance. We go there, jump to the status effects on enemies. Now we get the instant nuking, an instant critical chance on something that doesn't have the greatest crit stats. Again, go invisible, status effects on enemies. It's going to bounce around. and the companion nuked them before we got the chance to. Now I'll show my hate build in just a second, but I think it starts affecting that red enemy. It's even crazier. Just absolutely insane. Because that's the marked enemy that you really want to be trying to put status effect on and kill. Although anyone you kill will spread that status effect. So where was my hate? Here it was. Riven's not important. Put whatever you want there. Critical damage, heat, whatever. This is what I would say is the important things here. You can go influence with this if you want. I wouldn't recommend it though. I think this does feel way better. So you probably could drop prime reach and put reflex in. That might feel a lot better. Let's have a go at it. We do have quite good range in this. So we got our stats effect immunity, caster 3, because that's going to be upkeeped with kills, caster 4, we're going to activate this for our companion, go invisible, stats effect on enemies, a few hits of the hate, spread that around, and everything's going to die. We'll upkeep that just fine. Look at our 3, the duration will increase every time we kill. Walking afflictions, we've seen that white numbers. So we'll unpause these guys, we'll showcase our survivability levels. We're invisible, that's nourish, that's effect on this guy. Everything's dead. I'm chaining, invisibility, and shield gain. So, we've got this as well. This is here for a bit more gating. We've also got Fortifier here, which can give us more overguard if we need it. But it's going to break invisibility, obviously, as we see here. The problem with Voruna is we break invisibility whenever we swing, whenever we shoot. So you're going to be wanting to use that as your gating, jumping in and out of it constantly. So what's another good weapon we can show here? Duelicker, of course. Insanity, is it? It's just insane. Perfect Riven. Couldn't ask for a better Riven. This is going to be going crazy. I could maybe drop this for condition overload for more damage, because this Riven with electric and that will scale the influence. This will actually scale direct hits. So let's have a look at this. Again, our setup's all we can need to get into the mission. Activate 3, 4, get a headshot off. Oops. Everything's dead. So we want to get a headshot off on these guys to bolster our companion. There we go. So I'll look at influence itself in this. Pause these guys just to make it a bit easier. Oops. Stats effects. This can't easily kill them. They're using so much stats effects in them. Especially like a slash and stuff. Look at that. The minute you kill one, that's all spread to everybody. The gas clouds go everywhere. You know what it's like with the Eckers. They're just insanity. You can jump from this distance. Heavy attack. What else can we use? We can definitely slam too. Let's get slam weapon out. What can we take? Architecture. There's a build. You can screenshot. I'll leave up for a second if you want. Ignore the Riven. Just fit in, whatever you want in there. I've done this to make it gas because it's going to force influence, but you don't need that. Let's see how we get on with this. I actually haven't tried slam this, but I know it's going to work. It's going to be insane with whatever way we set it up. No, before we can even kill, that's what happens. So, again. Yeah, just insane. You know, if we take the Magi Star, it's not going to be proccing status effects really, but take the Sancti. Let's just activate status immunity, take these abilities up, and everyone's dead again before we get chunks to because the companion, the Mega Set, is just so strong. But there's often lingering status effects that kill, as you can see. Look at that. Never mind the killing from Voruna as well. Can't even get these killed because of it. I'm not going to put any status effects on them this time, apart from one maybe. Yeah, look at that, just insanity. We're boosting crit damage as well. We've boosted the slam radius. Just absolutely insane. So what's another weapon that we can recommend? Of course, the Kina, very similar to the Icarus. No introduction really needed. Insane weapon. Let's have a look at it. I'm not even going to boast the crit chance of companion because it's just insane. I'll just nuke before we can even kill. And Bob's your uncle, as you can see. Just insane levels of killing. So this is one that I really like to use, dual visas. So we've got gas and electric, Reven's just electric and crit damage, it's all that really matters. This has got a good unique trait, so you know, constantly upkeep that. Insane gas damage, it's just going to die, spread around, as we know. Everything's dead. So that's a bread and butter of her. You've seen the showcase. We've toyed around with a few things in here, which shows what made it work. For shards, we have crit damage, crit damage, crit damage, crit damage. This purely just to get our energy above 400 to bolster the effects of that. You know, we're going to get crazy crit damage in every weapon. So, again, you're going to go into a mission. This is going to how it's going to work. Come into the mission, we can activate 3, activate 4, invisible, starts effects on enemies. And they're probably going to die just from the companion alone. And there we go. Let's see that. Jump on enemies, have a shield gate, they're dead. That's effect immunity, you want to keep it up. Now we're going to jump over onto these enemies. They're all dead before we can really do anything because the companion in conjunction with us, putting status effects on them all, it's going to kill them all. We haven't even activated our companion's true strength yet because I haven't let off a headshot yet. Charge this. Now we've done it. Everything is dead. Just brutal. Now we'll get some of the beefy boys in. So, you know, this build can be achieved relatively easily. Get the mecha set, get a decent enough companion, any companion that you want. A quick release of other companions, and look at that. Boom, dead. You know, let's see how we'd get on without the mecha set. I'll just take a Diriga here with Contagious Bond, sort of standard setup I use. You put all these status effects on enemies, spread them around, relying on Contagious Bond to do the heavy lifting here over the mecha set and Contagious Bond. And to be honest, I think we'll do fine. We'll do absolutely fine. This way you could drop the Paris and Carnage, you wouldn't be needing it. All that status effects on enemies from us and the companion. Not as good as we can see, but still going to kill pretty well. Crazy damage, 5 million. It's going to probably keep our condition overload higher. I don't think it'll kill as well. Still kills relatively. And you know, you could use a Hound as well. Hounds are great. That's just if the Hound starts to proc status effects like we want him to. We'll roll this the setup for the Hound. I would probably use my corrosive setup because I've got viral. Same setup, just corrosive. This is the mods. That'll do for the video, I think, really. So the Hound does it, what I want to do. It starts effects on everybody. Nice. That's Voruna. Cheers.